Magic. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the New Old Furry Podcast. I'm Rick Hale, and with me, as before, is Kit Kilovaris, also known as Kitthesoulless, also known as Kit, also known as a great many other names that I will probably get struck down from YouTube for saying here.
Hey, nobody needs to know my porn name.
I can't disagree with you because I didn't want to know it.
Oh. And people wonder why I don't like the name Kit Kat. By the way, folks, today's topic is going to be an interesting one because all I can think of to talk about because of our last podcast is sex toys. You had to know where that soundbite was going.
Oh, I knew exactly where that soundbite was going.
Very specifically, furry sex toys. And we're going to try to make this as, well, okay as possible, because we're not going to go into very much detail on what these toys do, or rather what they're for, but god damn it. Weird sex toys are a thing in this community.
It's our second podcast, man, and we're going straight for the sex toys.
I mean, isn't that what we usually do in the dealer's den? Second day, toys.
To be fair, if I'm recalling correctly, I don't think we make it to the second day.
Well, if you get really technical, last year at FC, we kind of had to wait until the second day because they didn't sell sex toys unless you were at the midnight fucking sex toy emporium thing.
What did they call it? It was
the midnight bazaar.
Yeah, but they had another name. It was Dealer's Den After Dark.
Dealer's Den After Dark. The official name, though, on the roster, if memory serves,
was
the Midnight Bazaar. And God, was it bizarre. Because, I'm sorry.
I don't understand how you were able to get anywhere within there to see, let alone purchase anything.
I am really, really good at squeezing things into tight spaces.
No comment.
I mean, it kind of fits the topic. No, I actually am really, really used to moving around people, and if need be, squeezing in between people, and sometimes squeezing people into weird places, too.
Oh, I was also playing with the slight handicap that night as well. I had someone who was uncomfortable with crowds, and I was doing everything I could to get her through.
Yeah.
Because she wanted to see what was going on in there, and
yep.
She started panicking when we got about halfway through.
Yep. And strobing lights.
I became a human snowplow.
Strobing lights, lots of fucking people in a tiny room. I swear we maxed the capacity of that room for the entire night without any fucking worries, and then went over it at one point because somebody stopped giving a shit what the count was. Mixed strobing lights, lots and lots of people, lots of dildos, and loud music.
In various colors, both neon, glow in the dark.
With alcohol.
Yeah.
I
forgot there were 2 bars there.
I'm amazed there wasn't anybody that was kicked out for trying to demo the products. Because I was half expecting some of the people with what they were wearing there. Because there was literally this one guy that was in a...
Are you talking about the guy walking around in just a jockstrap and a pup hood?
He had just the jockstrap, pup hood, and then the crossed leather over his chest. I was half expecting him to grab one of those, pop a bottle of lube out of God knows where, maybe the muzzle of his hood, and just start going to town on the stage that they had behind the fucking DJ. Or in front of the DJ.
Now, this event has only happened once thus far because the very next year, or no, it was that year, everything got shut down because of COVID.
That was FC
which is
2020.
a shame.
So technically, yeah, the very next year it became a digital con.
If the individual who was wearing the pup hood, jockstrap, and crossed leather over the chest and nothing else is watching this, this is not kink shaming,
Nah,
nothing
you
of the
wear what you want
sort.
to wear, dude, but we were expecting a show, weirdly enough.
That night there was some energy wandering around. It
Very
was
much so.
That was interesting to say the least. You can't see it right now, but right now I have the 1,000 yard stare,
Little
having the
bit. Did you see the
flashbacks.
xenomorph dildos?
I don't
Ooh.
know if I did or not.
They looked a little bit like the difference, not the difference, they looked a little bit like a replica dragon scale arm guard with a gnarled fist already in it. It looked
What's
like,
terrifying is I
yeah,
think I can imagine that.
it it almost looked like a fisting toy for Predator. Goddamn. But no, there are some pretty weird toys out there. And this is one of those podcasts where we talk about weird things. And by the way, as a reminder, if I shouldn't be doing the reminder this late in this particular story, but these are not intended for minors. This is not a child-friendly stream and stream, not a child-friendly podcast in any fucking way. In fact, I'm fairly certain this one is going to get age restricted. What do you think, Rick?
If it doesn't get age restricted, I'm going to buy a lotto ticket.
I know, right? Oh. So, where would you like to start? Kink toys? Or extremely weird toys?
Well,
Or toys that shouldn't exist?
I think that's where we should start. That's a good starting point because how many toys could exist that shouldn't?
Well, I mean, there is always the one that we read about in that one website that is literally just a brick with jagged edged holes that are square and triangular.
We don't talk about the screwing brick. We don't talk about the horrible mechanical contraption that looks like
It's meant to rip something off rather than pleasure something. Well, it
mm-hmm.
is a toy that shouldn't exist. Well, how about the one that looks like a nice love tunnel full of worms and teeth?
See, now that's one that I feel that the individual who was writing the article did not give a fair shakeout to. Giggity.
The best part is, understand, we're not putting any pictures of these up, by the way, so feel free to use your imaginations. That's kind of the point of this podcast.
There were several that had a very specific theme to them, and you can find the articles we are referencing on, I believe it was crack.com.
Yep, crack.com.
And it was some random number. It may have been 10, it may have been 8, I don't recall.
I mean, one
Of
of them
the
was
most
27.
bizarre sex toys that ever existed.
Oh no, you just reminded me of one of them.
Oh, did you just remember the stool?
Yes.
We'll get back to that.
Yes, we will. This is one that we have to talk about at length because it is just too good.
We'll come back to that because there were two in particular. One looked very similar to a standard fleshlight. If you don't know what that is, you're probably too young to understand what is going on here, and you really shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Why are you still listening?
Seriously, if you can't understand what that is, or we need to explain terminology to you, dude, we're not gonna explain terminology here to you. Go away. If you're really young enough that you don't know what these things are, why the fuck are you listening? Adult oriented. Get out. Shoo. Go away.
Now, unlike the standard fleshlight, the inside, it looked almost like I'm trying to figure out how to
Pink
explain this.
spaghetti?
Spaghetti is one way. I was gonna say glowworms.
They didn't glow.
If they were one shade of pink away from being fluorescent.
I mean, in a black light, they'd probably glow white. So, yeah. Then again, in a black light, they'd probably glow for other reasons, too.
Yeah.
Oh. Need
You're
some of that
not wrong
luminol,
about
make
that.
everything fun.
And the person who had written this article said that it was a terrifying thing that should not exist, and why would anyone like that? Well, because you talk to any hormonal teenage boy and you
They'll
know
tell you what a sock full of spaghetti is.
some of them may have it under their bed,
That's the
and
sad
it
thing,
may be
yeah.
legitimate spaghetti because they want something other than rosy palms.
Oh, God. Thank you, you just reminded me of what I did with a hair straightener once.
I have been very good thus far to keep it PG-13, sir. I don't want to know what you did with a hair straightener. The other item on this list was basically a glove that had glowworms or spaghetti or however you want to describe it all over it. It's the same thing, just one comes in a tube.
I mean, realistically, if you turned the glove inside out, kind of the same thing. Just seriously, kind of the same thing.
So, closing argument here, crack.com is full of quacks and they don't do enough research and don't give things a fair shake. Giggity.
I mean, I'm fairly certain some of them were shaking something, but not the toys. They were probably shaking their heads. But I mean, hey, Rick, we knew this day was coming. Cracked did have an interesting article on one particular toy.
I don't want to talk about the stool. I don't want to talk about the corpse stool. Please, no.
That wasn't the one I was thinking of. We'll get back to that one in a little bit. No, I was
Oh,
talking about
God.
the mouth that does things. Specifically, the mouth that's meant to put things in places.
Whoever said that thing was a mouth, first and foremost, does not understand how a mouth works.
Alien mouth. I shit you not, Giggity. It looks like the mouth that comes out of not a xenomorph, but it looks like the mouth that comes out of this alien creature from, I think it was Sliders. This one episode where they slid into a world where this parasitic organism was impregnating people through weird kisses, and the only way to get it out of people was to legitimately freeze the person to death.
I, first and foremost,
This is about a
welcome to
sex toy, by
History
the way.
Time with Uncle Rick. Sliders was a sci-fi original show way, way back when. Back when
In around
sci-fi was spelled
98.
Scifi.
Yeah. This was like around 97, 98. It was a nice old show.
Uh, I feel like kids would be more apt to know Farscape just because of the Jim Henson connotations, but same era.
Roughly. Also, by the way, if you're at a sci-fi convention and are surrounded by older people, do yourselves a favor and just randomly say the name or say the line, well, who was Quinn Mallory? See how many of them look at you.
You're a horrible person setting up people like that.
What? It's just gonna cause a 5-hour long fucking explanation of the entire
They're
series of Sliders from start to finish.
they're going to get a dissertation.
Uh-huh. Oh. Anyways, back to ovipositors.
Oh, that's where you're going with this. I thought you were talking about the mechanical mouth that must never have existed.
Oh god, no, that thing looks like it would have freaking crushed your... No. Oh, never put anything inside something that looks like that. No, I was talking about the ovipositor, the thing that is meant to put things inside things, and...
It's the inception of sex toys, let's be honest.
A little bit.
You put something inside of it, then put it inside of you, then you push the thing out of it into you, and then you remove the thing, and then you have a thing inside of you, and
And then you can either choose to not have the thing inside of you, or let it dissolve and stay inside of you a little longer, but then not be inside of you.
what's really concerning is I impressed myself with my own description there.
A little bit. And the worst part is, we haven't actually said anything in that description that could technically be seen as sexual. Because, quite honestly, You could have also just as easily been describing a tube of, or like a piping bag full of food.
Why?
You put
I have
something
questions
inside it,
about
you
your
then put that
leaps in
inside.
logic there.
Well, no, you put something inside it, you then put it inside you, you push it, or you push whatever is inside it out into you pull it out, and now you have something inside of you. And I added that you can either remove from inside of you, i.e., spit it out, or you can leave it in you and let it kind of dissolve, i.e., swallow and let it digest.
Huh.
Does your brain hurt yet?
No, I was taking a sip of tea.
Oh god. I mean, we're only 18 minutes in.
I'm aware, and it's one of those
It feels like it's been longer. Giggity.
because I'm having the flashbacks. The horror of the stool still looms on the horizon.
By the way, guys, the stool he's talking about, and again, we're not showing pictures. This thing is a stool. Specifically, it is a 3-legged stool that you can put out on display. It looks like a dismembered torso that has had its skin removed, and its
The color
muscles
scheme
are
was truly
kind
terrific.
of nice and waxed. It is weirdly anatomically correct. And why anybody would want this, I don't know, but
You don't remember the explanation they gave you?
I would really hate to be the dude that goes to Larry's housewarming party and doesn't realize that somebody has used the stool, sits down on it, and all you get is. Also, Larry, you're a fucking weird person for having that stool.
You don't remember the reason the article gave for why you would want the stool?
Mm-mm.
It is to normalize the sexual experience.
Oh god, that's right, and that is anything but fucking normal. Yes,
I have
normalize the sexual experience. Put a dismembered fuckable torso on legs and call it a chair.
and put it on display,
And
no
we've
less.
just been demonetized. Or if not, fucking that's the phrase that's gonna age restrict this one.
That's all you, man.
I'm well
I
aware.
was quite good thus far.
I mean, yeah, you described an ovipositor like food.
I described it like a movie, sir.
And kind of like food. Well, to be quite honest, it's for putting eggs in people, so I mean, technically you could be describing a way of giving someone food. And there's the memory of that South Park episode. Nope. That particular sound is the one that I get from him on occasion that just means, why the fuck did you say that?
You know, there is a nearly infinite number of words in the English language, and English is a bastard of a language that steals words from other languages, so you have a nearly endless supply of words you could string together to form thoughts, and out of all of them, you decided to form that one.
And this is one of the reasons why you're doing this podcast with me. Because when you and I start stringing words together in, you know, interesting phrases, it gets weird and it gets fun. And sir, you have said some really, really cringy shit in the past too. Eventually, you guys will start hearing it.
No denial there. I am not a man without sin. I will not be the one to cast the first stone. But you cast the first stone when you make me listen to you, and I retaliate.
I mean, little bit, yeah. But then again, leave it to a stoner to cast the first stone. Which, by the way, for the record, folks, for those of you who are listening, you might like the idea. Well, for those of you who are in the know, I still haven't indulged in any of the nice green stuff this year.
Pause for applause. Pause for applause.
Shut up. After the shit that went on a few weeks ago, and at this point when it's coming out, it's probably a few weeks ago. Maybe. It may have just been last weekend.
It could be 48 hours ago. Who knows?
That would be funny, because that would mean we are time travelers.
No, it means you're just not editing any of this.
No, because it's been more than 48 hours since Friday.
Oh, I guess you're right.
So you, sir, were assuming we were going to do some wibbly wobbly timey wimey bullshit.
Oh, on occasion.
And where did you stick the TARDIS?
Um,
Hmm.
See, that's kind of the issue, is it is disguised as a cardboard box, and if you could see my room right now, you would understand why I'm having difficulty finding it.
That's another thing, by the way, on to, not onto, but one of the things that he's probably going to nope the fuck away from. I actually found a TARDIS sex toy.
The proportions would be all wrong unless they were going with the old model.
It was a penetratable.
Oh, where?
I don't remember. I was drunk off my ass when I was looking in the web. I mean, I can try to find it for you.
I don't think I need to see that. I think my life is perfectly fine not know it. Well, now I know that exists, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it.
I mean, it's no worse than the Jesus dildo.
Uh, Yeah, but everyone has their edgy goth phase where, they literally want to fuck Christ.
A little bit. Ooh, speaking of edgy goth and what that kind of sparked in the furry fandom at one point in time, do you remember when goth meant neon pink and sparkles?
It, there is a spectrum of goth. Throughout my life, I have seen the lovely spectrum of goth. Personally, I prefer the old Victorian goth.
Yep.
Moonlit, foggy streets of London style.
Let me paint a weird picture for you. It is a rave, and it is a neon sparkle dog that does not need any glow sticks because they have brought a couple of their own. Well, one of them at least.
See, now I'm concerned because of where we started this conversation on.
That was literally one of the toys that was a glow in the dark toy at the midnight bazaar. By the way, this one is going to be like 30 fucking minutes because of how much dead air there is.
Oh, I'm sorry, you got me onto gothic, and I'm looking at what actually constitutes goth.
But no, my original thought was, and we're going to go to a little less, what and what the fuck, and a more just what the fuck why, with the fact that, do you remember when goth meant neon pink and sparkles? Well, let's get on to the topic of sparkle dogs for just a minute.
Why?
That's why.
You hurt me. You know this.
Well, that's the thing. We're old fucking furries. What better thing to talk about than something that made every old fucking furry go, what the shit is happening in your fur? Why do you sweat glitter? Why do you shit
Well,
rainbows?
to be to be perfectly fair, the sweating glitter part is simply you went to a craft store.
No, you went to a craft store and somebody accidentally knocked over a fucking aisle on you.
No, they don't have to. You just walk through, you come out, and you sparkle. You're like a Twilight vampire.
God damn it.
Because the glitter is there. It waits. It will come when you least expect it. It's the herpes of the craft world.
And then I have to ask, what is the syphilis of the crafts world? Hot glue?
I guess would be googly eyes.
Oh god damn it. Fucking hell.
You're welcome.
Everybody knows when you have it because it's staring at them. There's a phrase. Could you imagine if syphilis grew eyes on your body and just stared at people? How much
I'm
more...
fairly certain that's a Star Trek episode.
I know, right? He got space AIDS. How do you know? Look, there's an eyeball on his neck. Oh my god. But no, very specifically, I wanted to talk about the rash of sparkle dogs. And yes, I call it a rash because it was colorful and just kind of appeared one day and then slowly went away after you rubbed it with a little ointment.
You say it appeared and it went away. It didn't go away.
It dissipated.
They're still there. They're just...
They're a little more
I'm
under
not
the
sure
skin.
what exactly happened. I think more of the standard fursuits got more ostentatious,
Oh yeah.
so they didn't stand out quite as much.
Yeah. But I remember back when Sparkle Dogs became a thing. And for those of you who don't know, Sparkle Dogs are these nice, husky looking dogs. Just cute little huskies. They're all pink and blue and green and every color of the motherfucking rainbow that
Mostly
literally
pastels.
sweat fucking glitter. And they stood out like a sore fucking thumb in the snow.
Eh. See,
And there was a time when everyone had one.
well, that's true, but I mean, you're getting into the realm of,
Furry
well,
fads.
yeah, it's entirely a furry fad.
I mean, what is the current furry fad?
Uh, I mean, I could get political, but I don't think that's where we want to go.
I don't think so either. Let's not. Politics, by the way, is one of the things we probably won't be talking about at length at all in these podcasts. Y'all are welcome. Because, yikes.
We may be talking about the politics of the furry fandom,
Yep.
but that's an entirely different beast, entirely different rules than politics at large. But I'm trying to think of what a furry fad is at present.
Huh. I mean, Skull Dogs were in like 2 years ago.
Even a year ago, sure.
But what's the current furry fad?
Is it plague doctors?
I don't think so.
Aw,
I mean,
the
somebody
one
tried
chance
to
I
make.
had to be up on the.
By the way, somebody tried to make a furry fad out of COVID by creating a line of specifically furry face masks for fursuiters.
See, that strikes me as the worst possible idea
Well, no shit.
because
Hi, this thing is meant to ventilate through the mouth. Let's cover the mouth.
it's and beyond that, even beyond the ventilation, you've seen me walking around in my suits, and half the time I'm looking through the mouth because it's the only way I can see down.
Yeah, no, I've seen that moment of tip your head up, eyes go fucking jutting down. Of, hi, can I see my phone?
Oh yeah, that's a very common one of the random fursuiter walking along, then suddenly they're staring at the sky, holding their phone at about chest level.
It happens. It's either that or the ones that have, learned how to not make it look so obvious are sitting there and holding the fucking phone up to their eye like they're trying to see the first pixel on the screen.
Honestly, I don't think I'm going back to the furry fads thing
I don't think
because
there currently is one.
not in the same way that Sparkle Dogs or the Skull Dogs or the Protogens or Primogens, I don't remember which one's closed and
Primogens.
which one's opens.
Primogen is closed because Prime. Protogen is open. There's
But
now
Proto
also
also means
synths,
one.
by the way.
But anyway, the each one of those had its moment, and the reason it becomes a fad is because of cons.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So I don't think there presently really is one other than everyone bitching and complaining about the fact they can't go to a goddamn con. I
Okay,
know,
so
I'm one of them.
So, convention bitching is the new furry fad. But no, seriously, we need to make a furry fad. I want to put the thought out there of steampunk platypi.
I'm not sure I can
Or
really.
cyberpunk platypi. One of the two.
You want your platypussies all nice and teched out. That's fine.
nothing
I
like a
think I'm.
nothing
I
like
think.
a mechanical pussy on a plate, right?
I think I'm gonna go Diesel Punk Protogen.
Diesel punk protogen. Okay, that's a good one. That's
That
a
that's
better thought.
that's
Diesel
out there
punk
in the ether.
protogen.
Someone help me out.
We need a diesel punk protogen, guys. It needs to happen. Oh, speaking of protogens, did you know that there is legitimately a person who is making a semi-serious furry animated movie involving a protogen and a synth?
It doesn't surprise me because late last year, late being August, September-ish, I thought synths were going to be the next big fad,
Yeah.
but they missed their opportunity. They missed their cons where they would have been really cool and possibly stuck out in landed.
Well, actually, BLFC this coming time, whenever it happens, they
Uh,
still have the cyberpunk theme, as far
Are
as
they
I'm
still
aware.
going with that?
Yes.
Because back in 2019, they promised us 2021 they were doing RPGs again.
Yes, but remember, they never did the one they promised first. And they might actually be holding off and promising the D&D after Cyberpunk.
Well, they're nope. It comes down to what's written and how. Because if they do Cyberpunk, then the following year will be RPGs once again.
But anyways, as I was saying about the semi-serious, full-length movie between a protogen and a synth, there's a reason why I say it's semi-serious.
And what
There,
is this reason?
there is a lot of joke content to it, like the phrase "Don't get your Pentium processor in a twist," or the phrase of "Well, I think I know where this is going, but we're in a porno, so remind me."
You can't see it right now, but my head just went straight into the hand.
Yeah, it's that kind of movie. But then again, it's furry. Did you expect anything else these days? Way, way too many horny furs out there, guys.
I'd like to point out we started this conversation on sex toys.
I mean, yes. Did you start this conversation horny? Because I didn't.
No, because we started with the sex toys that never should have existed.
Well, I mean, true. Then again, ovipositors are kind of a thing. Some people would argue that they should exist, and they should exist in everyone.
I'm still fighting against the singularity becoming reality. I like my personality being me. Thank you.
Oh. God damn it. By the way, you had to say something about the singularity because we have somebody that watches this channel that if they hear the word singularity, they go off foaming at the mouth and start ranting about how the AI are going to kill us all.
Well, they could hurry up. I'm sick and tired of suffering for this long waiting on them.
I mean, realistically, we're not that close to the theoretical singularity yet. We don't even have real AI. We have virtual intelligence, but not actual
No, but
artificial intelligence.
we're getting dangerously close with machine learning to
Yes, to get
act.
to the starting point of it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Machine learning already has insane amounts of restrictions for any company pretty much across the world, save for in China, that can fuck with it. And I'm fairly certain China's not that stupid because, well, I think they understand that if machines take over, they're probably going to be the first ones to go, or the first ones to be turned into slave labor.
Hard to say. But the big thing is with the machine learning, it's still going to be limited by the technology of the time.
Well, yeah,
It even using the supercomputer, doing basic math, and basic is in big heavy quotations here, doing basic math, if the problem is long enough, it still takes a server the size of my house to process it. It takes a day, 2 days to
yeah.
figure out the equation.
And the singularity won't essentially happen until we have a system that is roughly as compact as the human brain that can do the same equations as a human brain.
It doesn't have to be as compact as the human brain, but it needs to be as complex as the human brain.
Complex, that was probably the word I was thinking of, but yeah. It needs to be able to do the same thing the brain can do. And we're not quite there yet, mostly because we haven't mapped anywhere near as much of the brain as we should.
You're not wrong there. Then again, it may be they're still using old sonar technology to try and map the brain, and they keep going to the politicians and boing and getting just emptiness back.
Probably. Let's try to map this man's brain. Bing! He has a fucking universe in his brain! Maybe that's where that fucking phrase came from. Your mind is a universe. Explore it. Your mind is a universe. Maybe you should fill it with something.
Remember, kids, the universe is 90% empty space.
Seriously, your mind is a universe. I used to hear that all the time in school. Your mind is a universe. To me, that means you're a fucking idiot. You need to fill it with something. That could be why I read a lot of textbooks.
No.
Oof.
Oh, okay, we went from sex toys to furry fads to the singularity.
And there were a couple in there that you missed because we went from for sex toys that shouldn't exist to what the fuck sex toys, back to a sex toy that shouldn't exist, then to we vaguely touched on pink sparkle goth, and then Victorian goth, and then back to pink sparkle goth, then sparkle dogs, and then furry fads, and now the singularity.
No, I figured it out. I figured out what the most recent fad was.
What's that?
African wild dogs.
Oh shit! You're kind of right. African wild
They were
dogs.
everywhere.
They were absolutely fucking everywhere. I could literally throw a fucking cat and hit one at a convention.
I was very confused because people weren't referring to them as African wild dogs.
No, they were
People
just
were
referring
referring
to
to
them
them
as
as
wild dogs.
AWD.
No, I remember that at one point somebody was afraid to say African wild dog. And they were just saying wild dog. And I'm sitting here going, you don't look like a German shepherd that got out of somebody's fucking backyard, dude.
Well, what the phrase I kept hearing was AWD.
God damn it.
All I kept hearing over and over was, wow, I'm seeing a lot of AWDs around. Where are you seeing a lot of all wheel drives?
Oh
Was
my god.
legitimately a thought I had. I had to be corrected.
Ah, when is it the Aardwolf's turn? I've actually seen a couple Aardwolf suits, by the way. Those are fucking cute.
I don't think I have.
I mean, realistically, if you want a nice image for a twink, yes, we're going into this. An African wild dog is nice and short fur and skinny and pretty. And if you want something that can fill out the role of a belly dancer, fucking Aardwolves are a little shaggier, but still just as cute.
Are we typecasting personas now?
Actually, no, this could technically lead into the fact that one of my favorite characters in literature right now is a sex slave belly dancing twink Aardwolf.
Do go on.
If you guys want to know what I'm talking about, and again, not sponsored, go look up Rukish and look up Legacy Dawn and Dusk. It is a pair of books. They'll absolutely make you feel, and they will make you feel in some of the best and some of the worst ways.
We really need to look into sponsors for this.
I mean, that's the problem, is I would rather it be we're essentially putting it out there that these particular furries exist. I don't want money from people like Rukus. I would rather see her artwork and her fucking literature go further than it has ever gone before. And I love the idea of shouting out other furries.
I
Although
would like to point
realistically,
out if
most of
you're,
these people don't need shouting out from us.
yeah, that's kind of the thing is, I am this infinitesimal speck in the endless void. Allow me to shout your name, praise and glory. Who are you talking to? I have no idea.
I mean, we've got an okay follower base at this point. You do realize that. And from the looks of it, it's only gonna get bigger, at least hopefully.
Well, I as soon as the first of these episodes comes out, yeah, surprise, surprise. These episodes were recorded so close together that the first one hasn't even come out yet. As soon as the first one comes out, gonna watch that number plummet.
That, or you're gonna find out that you're more interesting than you think.
You can claim all you want, but
Then again,
I don't buy it.
you do realize there are people that are on this channel that find me interesting.
Yeah, you're right. Those people are really deranged.
Hey, they're nice people.
Nice people can be deranged.
I'm well aware I'm one of them. And shut up, you know I can be nice, I'm just an asshole on occasion.
The occasions he's speaking about is anytime he talks to me.
Touche, but kind of
Oh no, it's
as to
entirely a
Brooks.
self-defense protocol.
No. Me and Rick here, we talk a lot. And we've decided that we're going to take our conversations, or rather the lighter of them, and see if we can just turn them into, well, these. And hopefully it doesn't spiral out of control to where one of us is doing something like sitting there surfing the web looking at sex toys while we're talking about Pokemon cards or some shit like that.
First off, it wasn't Pokemon cards. Second off, it was one time. Didn't think I'd be willing to lean into that one, did you?
No, I knew you'd be willing to lean into it. It'd be the other things that you wouldn't be willing to lean into. Either way, guys. What is another good topic that we could do on this one to blow it completely out of the fucking water? Um,
By the way, if any of you can get this trending on Twitter, we're trying to get as many topics into the shortest amount of time possible, so that way you can have just the endless list of hashtags.
all I can think about this one is just. You know what? That's an idea. We should probably just put them as hashtags. Like the topic names, just hashtag this, hashtag this, hashtag this, hashtag this, hashtag. Should we?
That's not a bad idea.
Let's do it. We will add a hashtag as well. Well, you guys have already seen it, but we will essentially add a hashtag to all of the titles that come up, because the titles specifically that are coming up on your guys' screen, these are the topics that we're talking about. So when I bring up something like God, what was the name of that one fucking creature that
You're
used
gonna.
to pole dance at conventions for old perverts? Yeah, I had to phrase it like that. No, she was actually one of the like Bambioid or something. I can't remember the name for it, but
Oh, uh, Bambioid. What was the
Bambioid.
name?
There we go.
That was the species. Was
That was a
Bambioid.
species, but I don't remember her name. She was cute.
Oh. And now we have come to the point where Rick pulls up Wikifur to find out Bambioid's name.
God, wait, what was the name of that one ringtail?
Chester?
Yes.
Yeah, well, everyone knows Chester Ringtail.
Yeah. Um One of these days we're going to have to talk about the concept of the fact that Uncle Kage was in Chester Ringtail at one point.
You know what I found out recently?
What?
Uncle Kage's dad was in Chester Ringtail at one point.
Ooh, wait.
Oh, yeah. That one came out at Kage's most recent wine stream.
He was in there that
But
long? Sorry, I had to. Oh, oh my god. Oh. But anyways,
you, you hurt me, sir.
what? You've got to expect the bad jokes from time to time. One would think you're used to them by now. I mean, we have been friends for how many years?
How many years have we been friends?
Yeah.
Uh, well, let's see. Discounting those two, adding on those three, carry the one.
I mean, didn't we meet in 2016?
17, I believe.
Okay, 2017. It's 2021 now, so
And it's 4 years.
yeah. It's actually a little over 4 years because we met at FC, which was January, so just a little over 4 years. Yay. And you haven't shot me yet.
Look, I keep taking the gun back to get the sights aimed in, but apparently something like 900 miles is a bit of a distance.
Oh, you never know. You could get that one sniper rifle from fucking Wanted.
Oh. So apparently the Bambioid suit never had a name.
Huh.
Interesting.
It made for an interesting pole dancer.
What's really terrifying is the person who is inside of the suit. They have a picture of him on the Wikifur page. He looks like a very old dude.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've met a purple fucking breakdancing giraffe that I thought was in his 20s. Saw him without his fucking suit. The dude is a silver fucking fox. Oh my god. He's actually cute. And that's weird
Oh,
to say for me because I'm in my 30s and he's like in his 70s. Yeah, breakdancing suitor at like 65 or between 65 and 70.
The human body is a machine, man.
Yeah.
So long as you keep it running, keep it well maintained, it'll keep running
I
for
was
you.
I was gonna say if you say keep it well lubed, well leave it to furries.
I was fighting between well lubed, well oiled. Nope, nope. We are not saying that. We are not saying that.
Oh, but it's so easy to do. Again, like furries.
One of
By the
these
way,
days, we are going to have the lovely conversation of why do people despise the fandom so much? Well, have
probably.
you met Kit?
Hey, seriously, no. You've got to. That's the other thing that I kind of want to end this on is there have been a lot of people over the years that say the sexual side of the fandom is a bad thing. I mean, it can be, but realistically, what
The,
people do behind closed doors with consenting adults is fucking great. Don't do what this one pair of people did in pup play outfits in the middle of a convention space and fuck on the floor. And yes, that happened. I think it was like at either MFF or Anthrocon. One of the two. I don't remember which.
I think that might have actually been Motor City
Oh, it may have been Motor City Furcon.
because Anthrocon, nobody ever would have heard of that.
No,
There would have
no.
been
No, no, no. You're lying, sir. Dear sir, you are lying. People would have heard of it. I believe it's what 4 years later.
2 years. They have the 2 year
2 years.
rule.
2 years because everybody would have heard the story of when Uncle Kage almost had a heart attack because he just got a message or just got a thing over his walkie-talkie saying we have a problem. There are two puppies fucking in the entryway of the hotel.
Oh, they wouldn't have said that. It would have been something along the line of there is a lot of puppy love in the lower lobby. Keep the cockroach away. Keep the cockroach away.
Probably that or turn on the lights. Don't let the cockroach get near.
And you want to finish it off on the nice.
And then
The
from somewhere it would literally be just Uncle Kage screaming, "What?"
Yes, that is exactly probably the pitch.
Probably. Oh.
Now, as you were saying, you want to end this on the sexuality in the fandom. Oh, bad things happen. Well, bad things happen in normal sexual encounters too.
I mean, yeah.
Furries are people. It happens.
Yep.
It's
Oh, excuse me.
unfortunate that it happens.
Very much so. It does happen. It's unfortunate when it happens. Seriously, if you guys ever wind up in a bad situation like that, be it at a convention with another furry or with another person, understand there are things you can fucking do to make sure that it is dealt with properly.
Oh, geez, this took a dark turn.
No, it would take a dark turn if I said a shotgun would be one of those tools.
Uh,
By the way, not encouraging that in the slightest. I do not like the idea of hurting people. I don't think anybody really does. At least, God, I hope not. Seriously, the tools in general are things like call the fucking police. Seriously. Or better off if you're at a convention, notify Flair after calling the police.
I would like to point out not all conventions have flair.
Most conventions have their equivalent of it, though. Like,
They have
for
an
example,
equivalency of it.
the God, what are they called? The ones at Anthrocon. The
Anthrocon,
Dorsai
I believe
Irregulars.
MFF uses them.
Yeah, no,
I
the
think First Squared has them,
Flare is not non-existent if memory serves at Anthrocon. They have the Dorsai Irregulars.
which is another organization entirely.
Yeah, similar in the fact that it's a security group, but at the same time, Flare I believe is more of a West Coast phenomenon.
Yes. Basically, depending on which region of the world you're in,
Oh,
your local con has its version.
I
And
just thought of another thing.
oh dear God, why?
Speaking of Flare, another thing that you should probably point out is, or that we should probably point out is because we have never gone to a convention where this has not happened. If you see somebody who it may look like they have overdosed on something or drunk too much, grab your badge, flip it over, look for the fucking number for Flare, and tell them. You could legitimately save someone's life. Or
Yeah,
Flare or whatever security group there is.
just about every con that has badges,
Yep.
they have generally three phone numbers on the back.
Yep.
One is for the hotel, if you need to get in contact with them for whatever reason. One is for con operations, and one is generally the security.
Yep. Well, security and medical staff.
Yes. Well, yes.
And seriously, by the way, I should also point out that we're not the ones that have gone to the cons where we have not gone to cons and overdosed. But Rick and I have both had to deal with people that have taken something and had a bad trip, or drank way too much alcohol and was not just stumbling drunk, but was probably in a very, very, very dangerous situation. Uh, and I know one dude that when I found him actually technically hadn't taken enough drugs. And by that I mean he legitimately forgot to take his epilepsy medication and was in the process of having a grand mal seizure.
Oh my.
It happens. Things like this happen at conventions. Be aware. There's a number on the back of your badge that you can typically call.
I would like to remind people, if you are on medication, if you go to a con,
Fucking take
remember to
that.
take your medication. But beyond that, also remember basic human survival instincts. Get food, get sleep, get water.
Don't try to go to a convention with nothing but ramen. Shut up.
I didn't bring it up.
I know, but it's gonna get brought up eventually, and it was my first con. Fuck off.
It was my first con too, and I was always
Oh.
able to make it back to my room.
Oh, hush. Anyways, that's all for this one, folks. So, until next time, this is Kit and Rick, and I guess bye bye.
Toodles for now.